team just keeps overcoming and doing what it has to do. Talk about their maturation process.
Well, we ran into some adversity this weekend for sure. Nichols State had a really good game plan coming in. They play a unique style of they play a 2-3 matchup zone, something that we rarely see up here, or at least the teams that we play against. They also had a 2-2-1 three-quarter court trap that we haven't seen in a while. And those two things gave us problems. We started to get tentative, and it kind of snowballed from there. But we were able to make some plays down the stretch, and fortunate enough to get that 1-point victory.
Are you happy whenever you see a jump defense, just because in case you might see it later?
It does help. Even the next day, Tennessee State tried to throw on a few different things, and we handled it much better. We were much more aggressive. We attacked it instead of being tentative, and I could see already just from that previous game that we were able to make some steps forward.
Teams like this have, in years past, have made runs and had starts like this, and you've kind of been tentative, even coaching in the past, to say, hey, we're not as good as maybe this record. Are you cautiously optimistic at this point, or do you really buy into this record as, hey, this is a team that's going to compete?
I think it's a long season. I think we are getting better and learning every day, so that's exciting. We're going to run into some very difficult teams here soon, and also our league is very tough this year. We were ranked the second highest league in the country for, I think, the second weekend of the season. I think we're down to like 5th or something, but that's a pretty high level. So it's going to be tough. I mean, there's a lot of good teams. I think we're young. We showed that this weekend for the first time, our youth, with 2 freshmen and a sophomore starting in the backcourt. We showed it this weekend. We were able to get a little bit better on Sunday. But as long as we keep getting better and keep learning, I'll be happy.
John, what improvements do you have to make? Because a lot of people out there, would say 6-0, everything's perfect, but I'm sure it's not.
Yeah, we need to continue to get tougher. We need to continue to get mentally tougher. We got like I said, we got a little bit rattled. We can't let things like that rattle us. We on Saturday we let one error kind of compound into another, instead of just forgetting it, putting it behind us, and moving forward. That's another thing we can get better at. I thought our post defense struggled a little bit on Sunday, so we're going to work on that. There's always things that you can get better at, and we definitely need to, especially for our league.
Do you take the time to appreciate this? I mean, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, this program was the exact opposite.
You know what? That's a great question. It's, as a coach, I don't know how much you have time to enjoy the good things that are going on, and sometimes you need to try to step back. It is nice that I think we only have 2 games in the next 16 days, so we're able to slow down a little bit, take a little bit of break. We're going to let the players relax and catch their breath and get some rest. So I think that's good. We needed that right now. It's been on a lot, especially for the staff too. They've been working extremely hard on the scouting reports and practices and getting all that done. So being able to give those guys a couple days off is nice too. Everybody needs to kind of recharge.
What have you learned about your team after these 6 games?
I learned that they really want to win, and whatever it takes, they're willing to do. They've really showed me that no matter what's going on in the game, they're going to grind it out and try to find a way to get it done, whether it's take a charge or dive on the floor or make a 3-point play, something to get it done, and that's exciting. And back to Joe's question, I was talking to Jeff about the past and going into games where you're hoping, and this is including last year, I mean, we're hoping that we don't get blown out by 20, and I think now we're developing the mindset where we want to go in thinking that we're going to win every game. Obviously we're not going to win every game, but at least we're going to have that mindset, and that's going to help you win more games, obviously.
Do you do scouting, recruiting, that kind of thing over the next couple of weeks?
You know what, recruiting's constant. It never stops. Probably all of us will be on the road this week at some point, watching games. The scouting goes on. It's basically, I just split it up. Every third game goes to a different assistant, so they have, a week to 10 days of watching film and creating a scouting report for each game. It's kind of how the scouting goes. And they've been doing an unbelievable job. I mean, we know what the other teams are doing in their plays and a lot of play calls and everything going into each game, and I think that creates a calmness for our team and a confidence knowing what they're going to see going into the game.
In football terms, John, this next game being a non-D1 school could be a trap game. I mean, how do you kind of just approach that?
We're going to approach it like we approach every game. I mean, we're going to scout them as hard as we possibly can, prepare as well as we possibly can. We're excited to be back home at the Beagley Center. We've had great crowds, not only at home but on the road. We had a ton of support at Kent State for that game. We had a full pass list down in Nashville for both games, so it's been fun. The community's really rallying, and the support has been outstanding.
Anything specific about Oberlin that's worthy of discussion? The challenges they pose?
We're going to focus more on what we do. We're going to really try to get back to basics this week and brush up on our post defense. Offensively, we struggle a little bit in moving the ball as well as we would like to have. So we're going to kind of focus more on ourselves at this point.